this to you twice. I don't know if you got it because it kept just grinding away and not doing. There is a little introduction. And then
do you know that every news at 12 o'clock at the bottom of the clock no neighbor has ever said anything, and does anybody even hear it? I don't know. I don't do it. That's okay.
very simple.
As long as it's just
and then you will say it back together. So I read this line and then they say it, or read this line and then they say it. Is that how?
Well, I think that's what she wants to do today.
But is it one line at a time? Like where do I stop and then
I would do one line at a time.
Okay. All right.
Good morning. I'm excited to see all these faithful folks who come out on this, usually the lowest attended service of the year. You are the ones who got up and came on out to be in community. So welcome, whether you are here in the sanctuary, whether you're watching for the library or at home. It's wonderful for all of us to be together. And I hope you have all had a bright and gentle winter holiday, whether you celebrated the winter solstice last Saturday, Christmas this past week, or you are currently celebrating Hanukkah. And now as we settle in for the hour, on this last Sunday before the new year, let us pause to center our minds and our hearts for worship together, to lift up that which is of worth in our lives. And we're going to begin with the words of Paul Vacan. As we come together, let us pause to take stock of the year now concluding, its moments of happiness and hurt, its times of accomplishment and failure, and its occasions of inspiration and fear. We add these experiences to the tapestries of our years and look bravely toward a new horizon. Come, my friends, and let's worship together.
It's time for us to light our chalice, the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith tradition. On Christmas Eve, during our no-rehearsal pageant, we had lots of young people come up to light our chalice together. And that was so fun. Does anyone want to come up and light our chalice today? Reverend Sasha will help you if you need it. Perfect. Please stand now as you're able for our chalice lighting. The words I share today are by Lois Van Leer. We light this chalice on the brink of a new year, letting go of what has been, open and hopeful for what may come, renewed, restored, ready to live life fully anew. May we move forward with intention. And now, let's all read our affirmation by James Vila Blake together. It's on your screen, but we're also going to try it a different way today to make it easier for our youngest children who may not yet be able to read to join in. Here's how we'll do it. I will read one part, and then you will say it back together. Okay, here we go. Love is the spirit of this fellowship.
Love is the spirit of this fellowship.
And service is its law.
And service is its law.
This is our great covenant.
This is our great covenant.
To dwell together in peace.
To dwell together in peace.
To seek the truth in love.
To seek the truth in love.
And to help one another.
And to help one another.
Good job. And now let's stay standing for our opening hymn. Our opening hymn today is number 6 in your gray hymnal, Just as Long as I Have Breath.
Still
Good morning. I'm Sue Brown, your worship associate for today. Welcome to the Morristown Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Welcome especially to any newcomers and returning members. We're delighted to have you with us. After the service, please fill out a welcome card to help you get connected with us. You can also talk to our welcome ambassador, who would love to meet you and answer any questions. Look for the sunny golden sash. We have 2 today. If you need a caring presence and listening ear this morning, our lay pastoral care associates are available in the library after the service. You'll recognize them by their sky blue sashes. And there we have. And there's another 2. We're a community of many ages, but we will all worship together. You can join us in many ways on Sundays, including online, here in the sanctuary, or from our library just outside our sanctuary doors to the left. The library is great if you need a space to talk or get the wiggles out. Our service is live streamed there, so you won't miss a thing. We always have exciting things happening, and here's a quick look at a couple. First, 2 new adult classes led by Reverend Sasha, are starting in January. Starting Point for new UUs and Creativity Matters. Don't miss out. Also, we're thrilled to announce the launch of our new annual Open Questions series starting this January. This dynamic series will bring us together to explore profound and thought-provoking questions, ultimately shaping our future programming priorities. The first open question is, what does it mean to be welcoming? We want you all to come join the conversation next Sunday at 11:30 a.m. in Chew Hall. If you can't make it, we have more opportunities, including in person on January 5th and 2 Zoom sessions. For more details on these and other activities, check the back of your order of service, our weekly newsletter, or visit our website at muff.org, muuf.org. Finally, please join us after the service for social hour in our new addition across the way. We're glad you're here today. Now it is time for all ages. If there are any children or anyone with a young heart who would like to join me up here at the steps, you are welcome. We have a special story and activity for us today. As we wait, Reverend Sasha is going to pass out special treats for everyone. So these are soft butter mints that melt in your mouth. So they should be safe for our littlest ones. But parents, please decide if they're right for your child, and if needed, supervise their participation. We don't want anyone to choke. Now, it may be tempting to eat your mints. We're going to pass, you should be taking a mint and then passing the bag down so everyone in the row has one. So it may be tempting to eat them as soon as you receive them, but please hold on to them for later. After we read the book, we're going to have a special activity. So, hi, good morning. So getting started with our activity and our book, I'm going to just ask for, the theme this month is presence. So I'm going to see if anyone is present today with us here. So my first question is, what color is the piano? Is it black, white, or wood? Wood. Paisley, what is it? Wood. Anybody get that? Nice job. Okay, very present. Okay, second question. Oh, good point. I meant the exterior. Okay. Are the curtains on the exterior doors in our meeting room opened, closed, or in between? And Paisley, what's the answer? Would you say? I would say open. Everybody get that? Open? All right. Very, very awake and present here. And then the last one is the flooring material in the meeting room or sanctuary made of wood, stone, or carpet? And anybody want to answer that? Carpet. Okay, excellent. So if you had all three correct, you're totally present, and that will be our theme for the month and the theme of this story. The title is Mindful Monkey, Happy Panda. The author is Lauren Alderfer, and the illustrator is Kerry Lean McLean. One late afternoon, as Monkey was walking home from a long day at school, Monkey came across Panda sitting serenely in a thicket of bamboo. "You always seem so happy and peaceful," said Monkey. "Yes, you could say that," said Happy Panda with a little smile. "What do you do to be so happy and peaceful?" "I walk, I work, I read, I eat, I play, and I rest." "I walk, I work, I read, I eat, I play, and I rest too, but I am not so happy," said Monkey. "That seems true," said Happy Panda as he looked at Monkey. "So, Monkey, what do you think about when you do those things?" "Well," said Monkey, and if you want to mime, you're welcome to. "When I walk, I also think about doing chores. And when I do chores, I also think about reading. And when I read, I also think about eating. And when I eat, I also think about playing. And when I play, I also think about resting. And when I rest, I also think about walking." "Ah," said Happy Panda, "your monkey mind jumps from one thing to another, always to somewhere other than here, to something other than what you're doing right now." "Well, of course it does," said Monkey. "Isn't that what everyone's mind does?" "Well," said Happy Panda, "when I walk, I am just walking. And when I work, I am just working. And when I read, I am just reading. And when I eat, I am just eating. Yum. When I play, I am just playing. And when I rest, I am just resting." "True happiness," said Happy Panda gently, "comes from bringing all your attention to whatever you are doing right now. There is no need to think about what happened yesterday. Yesterday's gone, over, done. And there's no need to worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow isn't here. But today is all around us. Bringing your mind back to this moment right here, over and over and over again, is called mindfulness." "Oh, I get it," said Monkey. "Mindful, like your mind is full of the present, full of right now. That's definitely how I want to be." And at that very moment, Monkey started to practice mindfulness. How about you? And there we come to the mints. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is think about just the mint as we're going to eat them together. And you can feel the wrapper, all right, what that plastic wrapper feels like. We're thinking about all five senses as we do this. So you have touch, and then maybe you're hearing that wrapper make some noise. I can hear them. And you can start to unwrap that, maybe not lose that wrapper. We'll collect them later. But see, was there some space left in the package? So as everyone takes the mint out of the wrapper, we're going to get started with mindful eating. And before you even start to eat it, you might want to see what the smell of it is. Again, if you can hear anything, noticing the colors of it, what it looks like, the texture, what it tastes like. And then as you start to, just slowly see, does the taste change at all as you're eating the mint? Can you hear anything? Again, can you continue smelling it? So this is basically practicing being mindful as you eat. So as you focus on your senses, as you finish eating the mint, what was it like to eat the mint in this special way, this mindful way? Does anyone want to share any of their experiences?
Fun.
Fun, okay.
More enjoyable.
More enjoyable because of just being aware of that and not thinking about everything else at the same time. Anyone else? Okay, so our theme this month is presence. And practicing presence means being aware of what's happening right now in the present moment. It's about noticing how your body feels, what thoughts you have, what emotions you're feeling, and what's happening around you. We don't always notice these things, especially when we're busy. So practicing presence is when we pause and help ourselves to learn to notice better. When we practice mindfulness, it's like training our brains. If our minds start to wander, we can practice bringing our attention back to what's happening in and around us right now. Practicing presence is good for our bodies, minds, and hearts. It helps us feel calm, focus better, and understand our feelings. We can practice presence at any time, just like we did while eating our mints. When you go home, perhaps you can try it when you play, when you talk to your loved ones, or even when you do your chores. And thank you for practicing mindfulness with me.
Now, before we move along to the next part of our service, today I really do not want to take home this many mints. So would anybody like some mints? If so, raise your hand, I'll bring them on down to you. Come on, help me out. There we go. Get my life back in order here. All right, so now it's time for our milestones and passages. So sometimes we come to this sacred place on Sundays with a whole lot on our hearts. Maybe you welcomed a new baby into your family. Maybe you lost a loved one. Maybe you got a new job, or you lost a job, or you have a health concern, or your health has improved. So whatever your joy, sorrow, or concern, you can share it in our service by filling out one of our milestones and passages forms before 9 a.m. on Sunday morning. You can find that form. There's a link in our newsletter. And you can also fill out one of the cards before the service. They look like this. And they're on the table on your way in through the doors. So this morning we have a few milestones and passages to share, and I invite you to respond to each by saying, "We hold you in our hearts." Bob Calafiore shares that although he attends services online, he misses being with us here in person, especially during the holiday season. He continues to struggle with low energy and mysterious weight loss despite visits to various doctors, and he hopes to be able to be with us again soon. We hold you in our hearts. Diane Marks shares that Arlene Shapiro was discharged from Morristown MC on Thursday, December 26th, following treatment of congestive heart failure. An aide is helping her daily, which is helpful as she is weak after inactivity due to her hospitalization. She asks that you please send get well cards or give her a call. I have information on here, her address as well as her phone number, so if any of you would like to come up after the service and take a look at that and write that information down, you can do that. I'll put them over here by our chalice. Diane also shares that Judy Harris was discharged on Christmas Eve from Morristown MC to Pine Acres Healthcare and Rehab Center. She has pancreatic cancer. Michael Hacker, her longtime partner, is attentive and supportive. Please send thinking of you cards, and visits and calls are also welcome. And again, I have the address as well as the phone numbers here. I will place those over here now for you to pick up after the service. Or actually, don't pick them up, but take a look. So let's go ahead now and take a quiet moment for the prayers and meditations of our own hearts. This is a time to close your eyes, get comfy in that chair of yours. Take some time to just breathe. Feel that breath moving in and out of you. Practice presence as you hear the music and hear the breaths of the people around you, this community that's holding you. Feel the spirit of life and love holding all of us in this still moment. Let's go ahead and take a few deep breaths together all the way down into our bellies, and then a moment of silence together. Amen and blessed be. Now let's go ahead and remain seated as we sing number 1009. It's in your teal hymnal if you prefer to use the music in front of you. It's also on our screen. It's Meditation on Breathing 1009.
You'll discover that this has multiple parts to it, and we will sing them through one after the other, and then we'll sing them all together, and you get to pick which part you want to sing. Okay. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. That one's pretty easy. I think you can sing the second line too. Okay, now we'll try the next line. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. And now with my voice today, maybe I can sing the next one. And when I breathe in, I breathe in peace. Daryl's playing it.
We come now to the time in our service each Sunday when we pause to offer our gifts of financial support to this congregation. Your donations make all that we do here together possible and also help make our wider community a better place. That's because each Sunday we give at least half of the money we collect to an organization that is doing good work to advance our Unitarian Universalist values of love, justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity. Today's offering will be split 50-50 with UU Ministry for Earth, a seedbed for spiritual grounding and education that inspires deep practices of earth care, justice, and flourishing for all. You may give in our collection plate or by following the instructions printed in your order of service and shown on the screen. Thank you in advance for your generosity. Surrender to this life. Our reading this morning is by the Reverend Gretchen Haley, who serves as one of the ministers of the Foothills Unitarian Church in Fort Collins, Colorado. She writes, "Give up the fight for some other moment, some other life than here and now. Give up the longing for some other world, the wishing for other choices to make, other songs to sing, other bodies, other ages, other countries, other stakes. Purge the past, forgive the future, for each come too soon. Surrender only to this life, this day, this hour, not because it does not constantly break your heart, but because it also beckons with beauty, startles with delight, if only we keep waking up. This is the gift we have been given, these body clothes, this heartbreak, this pulse, this breath, this light, these friends, this hope. Here we remember ourselves, all a part of it all, giving thanks together."
had a little bit of too much fun writing today's story for today's sermon. So think of it kind of as a mashup between Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, and A Christmas Carol. There are midnight deadlines, magical gifts, and 3 supernatural visitors, only on New Year's Eve instead of on Christmas Eve. And the story goes like this. So once upon a time, in a cozy little town covered in winter snow, there lived a kid named Sage. And Sage had a big heart and always wanted to be a better person and make the world a better place for everybody. As December rolled around and holiday cards about peace on earth started arriving in the mail, Sage thought deeply about what a peaceful world might really be like. Maybe everyone will be kind to everyone else, they thought. No one will be mean or hurt others. Or maybe no one will be lonely or hungry or scared. Then they will be peaceful inside. Or maybe everyone will be loved. After all, Sage always felt safe and calm when their mom and dad told them they were loved. So maybe if everyone was loved, the whole world, would be more peaceful. As the new year approached, Sage also thought about all of the ways that they could be a better person. On Saturday, they thought, maybe I can get lots of money and nice clothes. Then I will be more rich and powerful. But they weren't so sure that that's what being a better person was all about. So on Sunday, they thought, or perhaps I can go to the gym every single day and grow big and strong so I can go out and fight bad guys like a hero. Good people have big muscles, right? But they weren't really sure that that was right either. So on Monday, they thought, or I can be nicer to my brother and sister. Sometimes I act kind of mean, though I don't like being that way. And that felt a little bit more like what being a better person meant. And then finally, on Tuesday, on New Year's Eve, Sage was visited by 3 New Year's fairies with wings and hair that glittered in the air like fireworks. And the first fairy came at dawn and visited Sage while they stood at the sink, brushing their teeth after their pancake breakfast. And she held a shiny coin in her hand. Sage, the fairy lady said, I offer you this coin. If you cast it into the wishing well, you will receive enough money to make one big wish come true. And Sage stared in shock at the fairy, the toothbrush clattering into the sink, but when they blinked, the fairy was gone. Weird, Sage said, and then looked down at their hand. Where the toothbrush had been, there was now a shiny coin. The second fairy visited at noon while Sage sat in their room coloring in their coloring book, and he had wings and hair that sparkled like thousands of stars. What? Sage gasped, their hands scraping a big line across their coloring book. Again? Like the first fairy, the new fairy held up a coin. Sage, he said, I offer you this coin. If you throw it into the wishing well, you can wish for a special power like super strength or the ability to heal people, and your wish will come true. But I don't have a wishing well, Sage pointed out. The fairy snapped, and Sage jumped as their closet door just burst open on the other side of the room, and inside, flanked by all of their sweaters and their jeans, rested a stone well like the kind that you see in fairy tales. And Sage stared in shock at the fairy, that crayon just clattering to the carpet, and then they blinked, and the fairy was gone. Did that seriously just happen again? Sage whispered, and sure enough, when they looked down at their hand, they found a shiny coin. And carefully, they put the coin on the stone edge of the wishing well, and they placed the first coin next to it. And then they closed their closet door and leaned up against the wood, breathing hard and unable to believe that this was really happening. Now, like Sage, The new year stretches before us, and we too may find ourselves wishing and hoping at this time of the year and holding on to a few good wishes. Maybe those wishes don't look much like fairy coins, but they still gleam bright and magical inside of our hearts and our minds at this time of the year. This is a time of the year that is full of all kinds of shiny hopes for all kinds of things. There's something about the dark and the cold of winter that just encourages us to slow down and reflect and dream, to imagine, to hope, and to wish. As the new year approaches, we may find ourselves feeling like Sage did in the story, wishing for a better world or for ourselves to become better people, even if we don't always know necessarily what that means. Maybe you don't wish for lots of money or for superpowers. Or maybe you do. But perhaps you wish for peace on earth or goodwill for all. Or maybe you want to cultivate your own inner peace and goodwill toward others in the new year. So many hopes, so many dreams stir up in us at this time. And in the days to come as we head toward the new year, I invite you to take some time in your life to consider a few questions. As the old year winds down and the new year approaches, what are you noticing about yourself and the world around you? Those mindfulness practices that we tried together earlier can be a really useful tool in this. What are you noticing about yourself and the world around you? What has been going on in your life and in your community that needs some of your attention in the new year? What do you appreciate the most, and what do you wish was maybe a little bit different? Is there something you wish for at school, at work, or in your family, or maybe in your own life? Is there some good that you would love to bring into the world? And if so, what is it? And where is your compassion needed the most in this next year? What are you dreaming of as the old year wanes and the new year approaches? And so I invite you to think about these things a little bit now, and then, of course, in the days to come. We're going to pause for a moment, as we do here now, to sing together before we continue today's sermon. And let's go ahead and remain seated for this one, and we're going to sing just the first two verses of hymn number 298 in your gray hymnal, and up on the screen, Wake Now My Senses. So let's return to our story. As soon as nighttime arrived on New Year's Eve, so too did a third fairy. And Sage dropped their toothbrush in the sink and yelped, "Are you sure you are not a tooth fairy? You and your friends seem to really enjoy sneaking up on me while I'm brushing my teeth." "Nope, just a friendly neighborhood New Year's Eve fairy," the fairy said, wings and hair glittering like thousands of fireflies. "Now, do I safely assume that you know the drill by this point?" "Yeah, I think so," Sage said. "You got a coin for me? I can toss it into the wishing well in my closet, and my wish will come true." "Correct," the fairy said, and they held up a shiny coin. "With this coin, you can make some of the goodness already inside of you even stronger, so you can help use it to make the world a better place. For example, if you have lots of joy in your heart, this coin can help make you even more joyful. And your joy can spread out into the world and help make lots of other people joyful too. That sounds interesting, Sage said, but I should probably let you know that the other fairies already gave me 2 other coins. Can I throw all 3 of the coins into the well and get 3 wishes? I am afraid not, the fairy said. You can only use 1 coin, and as soon as you toss it into the well, the others will lose their power and the wishing well will disappear. So choose wisely. Ah, man, Sage groaned. That meant they had to choose between lots of money, superpowers, and now this new wish. And that sounded so hard. Well, how long do I have, they asked, before I have to decide? After you toss your coin of choice into the wishing well, you have until midnight to make your wish, the fairy said. Then my siblings and I will dance in the sky to welcome the new year, and we're going to look and sound like fireworks, and that's how you will know that it is time. When you see us sparkling up there with the stars, you will need to make your wish under our light, or the magic won't work. Wow, okay, Sage said. It was already getting near to midnight, and they were up way past their bedtime. Their brain was already mush. They reached up and they rubbed their eyes tiredly, and they mumbled, "That doesn't give me much time to decide which coin to use." And when they lowered their hands, the fairy was gone. Of course, Sage sighed. So don't we all wish sometimes that we had some magic coins and a wishing well? If we did, it would make it a lot easier to make our wishes come true. We wouldn't have to make New Year's Eve resolutions or create plans. We wouldn't have to do any of the hard work of following through either. We would just toss in a coin and voila, wish granted. Now, if I had a magic coin and some wish-granting fairy friends, there are so many wishes that I would make come true. I would make sure that our leaders get serious about climate change. And better yet, I would just wish for human-created climate change to just go away. I would put an end to war, poverty, racism, and everything else that destroys lives, tears communities apart, and makes people suffer. I would make sure that everyone who is lonely would have a true friend, and everyone who is hurting would be comforted. And on a lighter note, I would maybe wish to instantly be a great figure skater so I can skip all of that hard work and jump straight to winning medals. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a wishing well, and I'm guessing you don't either. I can't just toss a coin into some water and make all of my hopes and dreams just suddenly come true. But that does not make it impossible to make some of my wishes and dreams come true, and yours can come true as well. Because you see, even though we don't have wishing wells or magic coins like Sage does in our story, we have something else within us, something that is a kind of magic. But to understand what I mean, you will need to hear the last part of our story, which we will explore after we sing together again. This time we're going to go ahead and stretch our bodies a bit by rising in body or spirit. And we are going to sing the 3rd and 4th verses of our hymn. It's number 298, Wake Now Our Senses. So all evening, Sage thought about which of the fairies' coins they wanted to throw into that wishing well. And they thought about the first coin and how, with all of the money that it would give them, they could help make the world a better place. They could maybe make a wish to have enough money to buy everyone food so that no one would go hungry. Or they could give lots and lots of money to hospitals so that doctors could cure all kinds of things. But they knew they'd only be able to make one wish. And then Sage thought all about the second coin and how useful it would be to have a special superpower. And their eyes traveled over to all of their comic books on their shelf. Maybe they could be really strong like Wonder Woman or fight bad guys like Spider-Man. But what about the third coin? Sage wondered. To use it, they would have to choose something good about themselves, something that they already had that could maybe become even stronger when they made that wish. But what is good about me? Sage murmured. Well, they were funny. They knew that. So maybe they could be even funnier and make the world a happier place. And they were smart, too. Everybody said that. Maybe they could be even smarter and help solve all of the world's problems. The clock just ticked on toward midnight, and from the living room, Sage heard a shout. "Honey, it's time to go outside," Mom said. "We're all out here. The fireworks are about to start, and we're going to do the New Year's countdown." And Sage's heart thudded in their chest. Oh man, they were almost out of time. And they squeezed their eyes closed and they thought really hard. Why do I want to make the world a better place, they wondered. Why do I want to be a better person? Why do I want money and superpowers that I can use to help people? And then their eyes flew open. I want to do all of those things because I'm kind. I'm compassionate and I'm loving. That's the goodness inside of me. I am a loving person. 10, Mom and Dad shouted from the backyard. 9, come on, Sage. And Sage raced to their closet. 8, they threw open their door and they grabbed the third coin. 7, they tossed the coin into the well and the well disappeared with a whoosh. 6, Sage rushed out of their room. 5, they tore across the living room. 4, Sage threw open the back door and they ran out into the yard. 3, Mom and Dad spotted them and smiled and waved them over to the rest of the family. 2, Dad said, wrapping an arm around Sage's shoulders. 1, Sage whispered as Mom hugged them close. And then, as the fairies sparkled like fireworks in the night sky, Sage whispered their New Year's resolution. This year, I'm going to tap into the love already in my heart and be even more loving to the people around me. And that's how I will make the world a better place. And from that moment on, that's exactly what they did. Their wish never ended. They continued to spread kindness, compassion, and love wherever they went. Their loving presence made a big impact on all the people around them, making the world a better place. So, my friends, there is something within us that can help make our New Year's wishes come true. We don't need fairy friends, magic coins, or wishing wells, because we carry that magic already inside of us. Our unique inner qualities, like our bravery or our kindness, radiate forth from us. They shape our presence in the world. And New Year's Eve is a good time for us to choose what kind of presents we want to offer and make some commitments about how we're going to do so in the new year. You know, too often at this time of the year, we make New Year's resolutions that maybe aren't really all that good for us. Maybe we make a resolution to go on a crash diet because we feel ashamed of our weight, or to read more books that we don't actually like because we want others to perceive us as well-read. And such resolutions are common, but it is healthier to set personal goals based on things like self-appreciation and a sense of who you truly want to be in the world, not a sense of self-deficiency or a desire for some kind of external validation. And like Sage, we all have some goodness that's already inside of us. And that goodness allows us to offer a special and unique presence in the world. And we can all strengthen that presence in intentional ways that it'll have a deeper impact in the new year. For example, maybe you are a naturally appreciative person. You naturally see blessings everywhere. They're all around you. And so you want to offer a grateful presence in this upcoming year. Perhaps you could make a resolution to do things like keep a gratitude journal and send your loved ones little notes about how much you appreciate them so that you can offer a more grateful presence in the new year. Or maybe you are someone who wants to offer a peaceful presence in the new year. Your resolution could be to meditate daily and learn about nonviolent communication so that you will be more peaceful within and as you interact with other people. So your unique presence in the world is like your magic, and you can choose what that will be. So when you work on making it even stronger, your presence can grow into a powerful force for good in the world that spreads out through all of your life. My friends, as the new year approaches, may we each look deep inside of ourselves. May we find that special magic that is cradled already within our own hearts, and may we bring that magic forth as a powerful presence to radiate goodness into a world that so sorely needs it. Amen. Blessed be. May it be so. Now let's go ahead and rise and body your spirit one more time to sing the final verse of our hymn. It's number 298 again. Wake now my senses. Seated. It's time now to bring our time of worship to a close, but as we extinguish this chalice flame, its light will continue to burn in our hearts. It has already gone out of us. It extinguished itself. As we go out into our daily lives, I leave you with a prayer by Lynn Cox. Spirit of life and love, known by many names and yet fully known by none. We give thanks for this time and this place of renewal. We give thanks for the ability to begin anew in the new year. Grant us the courage to endure on the journey, the courage to speak up for the well-being of others and ourselves and the planet. May we forgive each other when our courage falls short, and may we try again. Grant us the hearts to love boldly, to embody our faith and our values in living words and deeds. May our hearts open to embrace humility, grace, and reconciliation. Grant us the ability to learn and to grow, to let the spirit of love and truth work its transformation upon us and within us. Grant us the spirit of hospitality, the willingness to sustain a fit dwelling place for the holy that resides in all being. Grant us a sense of being at peace in the world, even as we are in motion. Let us cultivate together the strength to welcome every kind of gift and all manner of ways to be on the journey together. Amen. Blessed be. And Happy New Year. Now let's go ahead and please remain seated for our closing song. It's that traditional New Year's tune, Auld sing. Syne to sing.